Hello and welcome to another episode, another fun-packed, full episode of Talk of the Crown, my weekly live chat. Welcome to everybody who has made it. I will go to the chat room in just a second and try and say hello to as many people that are already there as I possibly can. So let's go and find the chat room. I hope you've all had a voluptuous royal week. I know I have. There's been so many twists and turns this week. Oh, my goodness. I don't know how we all made it through. Let's go. 83 people in already. My goodness. Of course, I want the live chat. I don't want any other chat. Live chat, please. Let's see who's here. Sue Miller, Jane Doe, Dee Ray, Kathy Brown, Margaret McCullough, Leonette Woody. I hope I've said that correctly. I can only see a little small screen. Look at my small screen. Kiki Smith, Sean Kay, Scott Goff, Plumbird, Kiki Smith. I may have already said some names. Vicky P, Mrs. VSN, Frazzled Halos. Sorry if I've missed people. Dawn, Angelica, Floss and Rug Payne. Dawn is here as well. Arnold Sanders, Book Princess, Moon Mom's here. Mirial, Jason Lewis Young, who says he's only been able to watch on catch up, which is a good reminder because, of course, if you do miss live, you can watch on catch up. CMAC2, Nicole C, Kathy G, I might have already said you, I don't know, Kelly Vernon, Susie Warren, Brenda Roman, Sharon Hill, Gail Beckford, Tracy McCain, Stacey Lamb, Clusa, Hope is here. It's Our Fenwick Life is here. Hello to you, Favour and Rob. By the way, I did actually want to mention, in fact, it's a good time to mention, It's Our Fenwick Life. Do say hello to them. They have their own channel, and I did say I was going to give them a shout out because one of the things I don't often talk about is actually the channels which I watch and that I like to relax and enjoy. And one of the things that I do like, my favourite type of YouTube channel is vlogs. I love vlogs. I like travel vlogs. I like home vlogs, and I like to just escape into other people's lives and worlds. And It's Our Fenwick Life is an amazing channel, so do go and check them out. If you like cruise vlogs, travel vlogs, home vlogs, if you're female and you like fashion and jewellery and all kinds of box openings, or if you're into meat and you like a butcher box, which I always like those ones. That channel is for you, so do go and check them out. I will link in the description as soon as I've put this on live. So do give It's Our Fenwick Live, Favour and Rob a big hello in the chat room. We have Raider and Penny and Wayne and Anita and Kaj and Vinnie Blair. It takes ages to go through all this. And Melody and Deslin and Marion and Jennifer. Okay, I'm just going to skip down to the bottom now. Sorry if I've missed some of your hellos, but I want to get to some questions. So let's have a look. Book Princess says, you look handsome. Thank you so much. I made an effort. Look. Oh, I forgot something. I forgot a crucial part of my outfit. Maybe at halftime I'll go and get it. But I did put something that's to go with all these pearls. Look. Do you like my little pearl adornment? And a little pearl brooch. Karen Love says, you look very distinguished and so handsome. Thank you so much. Natalie Jean says, hi, Elliot. I'm very concerned about the stream of hit pieces written about Meghan since the successful tour. Do you have any idea why it's happening? Yes, because, as I've said in many other chats before, Meghan has brought in and attracted a whole new group of fans and viewers and watchers into the royal family. Some just because they want to look at Meghan and Harry. Some that I'm hoping are watching my channel and are broadening their horizons, looking at other royals as well. But she has basically got viewership of the royal family up. And a lot of these channels and fake news sites know that if they do Meghan stories and they make them completely outrageous, they're going to get clicks and views, and they're going to trick you into pressing play and making money. Clicks equals views equals money. So they don't care if they put out fake thumbnails. They don't care how ludicrous the story is. They will put out fake news. And as long as people keep clicking on it, they will keep putting out the fake stories. But I appreciate that it's very, very hard to decipher what is fake, what's not. In some stories, there might be a little shred of truth, and then they stretch the whole rest of it. But we'll get to that a little bit later with the Harry and Meghan moving situation that developed over the last 24 hours. Oh, my goodness. I really did need my tea that day, or rather last night. Lots of people saying I look lovely. Thank you so much. It's our Fenwick Live says, I love vlogs too, our favourite. Thank you, Elliot. You're so sweet. I so appreciate your compliments. We adore you too. Thank you so much. And as Favour said in one of the comments that I've been sort of commenting with, it's our Fenwick Live on. One of the good things about the internet is that it brings people together from all over the world. Just like now, I'm either on your phone or I'm in your living room or whatever it might be. I might be in your place of work if you're being naughty and watching me while you're working. I know who you are. I can see you. I can see you watching me while you work. I know you're doing it. But it unites people. It's a really good tool for uniting people all around the world. And I'm really, really grateful for YouTube. I mean, it's Thanksgiving week in America. And I did say this in my community post, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. It doesn't matter if you celebrate Thanksgiving or not. Every country's little Thanksgiving's occasions, I know lots of countries have different days for Thanksgiving, is a time when everybody can just think about one thing that they can give thanks for. It might be that you've got food on the table. It might be that you have a roof over your head. It might be that you've got your family or your loved one or your pets. But I'm sure everybody can think of at least one thing that they can be thankful for. I know I tried this week and I found that I've got lots more than one thing to be thankful for. Give it a go. Ava42 says, glad that it was officially announced by Kensington Palace. Just wish they would stop with the family tension angle. Yes, let's address the story. The elephant in the room. So, okay, big deep breath. In fact, I may even need a drink of water before I start this. So yesterday, I'm on Twitter and I regularly check this one sort of fake news channel that's renowned, not channel, Twitter page, that's renowned for putting out fake news. So I read the stories and I see one about Harry and Meghan being gifted Frogmore House. So I think, oh, I'm up in arms. I'm going to go and denounce it as fake news, blah, blah, blah. So I go and do that. I say, look, it's fake news, take no notice, blah, blah, blah. Then I see from a royal correspondent, an official royal correspondent that works for The Sun, that's where the story had come from. So then I thought, oh, hang on a minute. There could be some truth in this. You know, that is her livelihood. She's put her name behind this. If it's not true, then, you know, it could potentially harm her career. So that's when my ears picked up and I thought, there could be some truth in this. But also I thought back to the time when Harry and Meghan's engagement photos were released, the ones that were taken in in the grounds of Frogmore House in Windsor Great Park. And I remember in my live chat around that time, you can go back and check, it's all on film, it's there. In fact, I'm going to give myself a fan flap. There we go. I'm going to give myself a fan flap because I called it. I said, I think there's a little cryptic clue in those photos. I spotted that perhaps Frogmore House could be the future potential home of Harry and Meghan. Now, at the time, I didn't know about all the different cottages on the Frogmore estate. So I didn't know about Frogmore Cottage or any of the other properties on there. But I did think, and I did call it, that Frogmore House might be the potential home. So anyway, fast forward back to yesterday. So I pop on and I do an emergency live chat because I wanted to go through all the different things that was going through in my head, and bearing in mind at that time we had no official confirmation from Kensington Palace that it was true. So I made that video, we discussed it all. You can go and watch me discussing it, going through it, trying to work it out in my head. Then I wake up this morning, still groggy and sleepy, and I find that there is an official announcement. I think it was forced because of the story that was put out there, but nevertheless, there it was true. Harry and Meghan have indeed been gifted by the Queen Frogmore Cottage, not house. The two are separate. House and cottage are different. So the house is the big, massive building, which you will see in lots of photographs on the internet, on YouTube. But they've got it wrong. They're putting out the big white facade photo. That's not the house. That's not the one they have been gifted. But I say gifted. The actual the whole of Frogmore Estate, the house, the cottage, the grounds, everything is owned by the Crown Estates. So technically, the Crown Estates is owned by the Queen, but the profits from it go to the state. And then the Queen derives an income from a percentage of the profits from the Crown Estates. So she's not actually giving it them. It's kind of like, think of it like a really, really, really long-term lease. So that's what they've been kind of long-term leased gifted. They've been gifted like a long-term lease, a long-term stay, shall we say. So yes, it's the cottage. Now the cottage has actually been split into 5 separate staff accommodations. It's in a slightly dilapidated state. It needs major renovations, of which I think is being met by the Crown Estate because they own it. There you go. But any fixtures and fittings, furniture, curtains, bathrooms, kitchens will be paid for by Harry and Meghan, because that's the same as what William and Catherine did when Anne Hall and Kensington Palace apartment 1A were being refurbished. So it will be in the same kind of light as that. Now let's get to the little bits of the story. Let's unpick the whole story. So I read the whole article. Now within the whole article, the true bit, the bit that's been confirmed, is of course that they've been gifted Frogmore Cottage. Watch my video on it. I show you an aerial photograph and all the differences. But intertwined into it, they said that one of the reasons behind the move was tensions between William and Harry. Now, this bit I don't believe. We've seen them, you know, at different events recently, remembrance events, etc., on the Charles' 70th birthday documentary where they were talking and watching footage together. I don't sense any kind of tension between the brothers at all. Also, with what they've gone through with losing their mother, Princess Diana, you know, those brothers are tight. And I don't believe in my heart that there is any tensions. Of course, we don't know exactly what goes on behind closed doors, but I just don't feel that that is right. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, but I just don't believe it. So that bit, I think, has just been put in there for sensationalist reasons. The next bit was about the Gloucesters. Now, again, there's been huge speculation for a very long time that the Gloucesters are going to move out of their apartment, which is next to William and Catherine's, in favour of Harry and Meghan. Now, a few weeks ago, they said they were not moving. There we go. And I didn't think that story was true anyway. I don't think they'd have been asked to move. If they did move, it would be because they want to. But anyway, within this story, it's now claimed that they are moving sometime in the new year. I don't know when, it didn't say. And that they're moving to a smaller accommodation in Kensington Palace. Now, I don't know what smaller accommodation. Could it be Nottingham Cottage, where Harry and Meghan live now? I don't know. Also, they claim that, well, actually, it's true. Frogmore Cottage is going to be Harry and Meghan's official residence. Now, this, of course, is the same as when William and Catherine, first of all, had Anne Hall on the Norfolk estate, and they were doing up Kensington Palace. That was their official home. And in fact, they didn't make Kensington Palace their official residence until 2 Septembers ago, when George started school, when they moved back to London officially. Then it became their official residence, whereas Anne became their country property. So I find it odd that they're suggesting in this article that Harry and Meghan are going to leave Kensington Palace completely. I don't think they will. I think they still need a London base. Nottingham Cottage, a 2-bedroom cottage, is perfectly fine. They can afford to keep that on. The commute is 43 minutes. I did a search on the AA route finder, and that's with you know, perfect traffic. Of course, with London traffic, it could be over an hour each way. People say, well, they could take helicopter. Well, what if another royal is using the helicopter for an engagement? They can't use the helicopters willy-nilly. They just can't. You know, they have to prove that that is the most effective method of transportation versus cost. So they aren't going to be helicoptering in and out willy-nilly unless they buy their own helicopter. So I do believe that they will possibly keep Kensington, their Nottingham Cottage at Kensington Palace, but we don't know. But one thing that the statement did say, and I think this was Kensington Palace's way of squishing some of these tension rumours, and also the rumours that their households are going to split, because they did say that the offices are still going to be based at Kensington Palace. I think that's their code for they're not splitting the offices. You know, I mean, I'm sure within their offices, they've got their own teams. They've got, you know, Meghan and Harry will have their own staff. William and Catherine will have their own staff, but they're still together. It's still, you know, in the same place, in the same offices. So, you know, they also claimed that Harry and Meghan had refused apartment 1, which was the Gloucesters. Again, we don't know. Nothing of that is confirmed, but you know, those are the things which are slightly up in the air. Now, did I forget anything when I was mentioning all that? I don't think so. But I want to go now. In fact, I need to cool down. Where's my spritz? I do get angry. Oh, that's better. A little bit of cool down spritz. Let's read some comments. We've just spoken, Vicky, about the leaks coming out of Kensington Palace. Wendy loves the pearls. Thank you. Loads more people saying I look wonderful. Thank you. Barbara says, if you could have any job with the royal family, what would it be? Oh, I would like to look after the Queen's jewels, the Queen's jeweler. I would love to be the Queen's jeweler and tiara designer. First Mrs. R says, you look very smart and ready to go to the palace for tea with the Queen. I would love to sit down and have a cup of tea with the Queen. Let me know in the comment section, which royal would you most like to have tea with, or a bit of a chin wag, a conversation, as we say. Vinny Blair said, it's important to note the release says nothing about not maintaining a residence at the palace. Exactly. It just says that their official residence is at Frogmore. Well, there we go. That, I'm sure, will come out in the wash, as we say here in the UK. Christina says, did Harry look somewhat aloof during the variety show? I don't think so. The Royal Variety Performance is another event that Harry and Meghan attended this week. It's still yet to be televised. We don't know the official date, but it's sometime in December on ITV. I think it's always an amazing show. It really is a variety show. Some people were fooled by the elephant. It wasn't a real elephant. It was a puppet elephant. And Harry was kind of fiddling with the trunk, which I thought was really funny. No, it's an amazing show. It's so full of variety, hence the Royal Variety Performance. And I think everyone looked like they were having an amazing time. They met the cast of Hamilton again, and you know, Meghan looked very happy with that. I think I didn't see any aloofness at all. Lisa Keller says, love your bow tie. Thank you. Muriel can't see me. If you can't see me, refresh. Hello to Pam G. Hello to Boris Johnson. Oh, by the way, hello to Mr. Brown as well. If you're watching Mr. Brown, hello to you. Can everyone say hello, Mr. Brown? Mr. Brown knows who he is. Am I drinking tea? No, I have water tonight. I find it more hydrating. And I was on for 2 hours last time. I don't intend to stay on for 2 hours this time. Sweet Serenity says, that's why I only subscribe here and the Royal Family channel. No other channels for royal news. Well, thank you. I feel highly honoured. Sean Kay says, I discovered your channel because I became interested in Meghan and Harry, as did quite a few people. You can join a very big club. It's Shelley Ellis from Lover's Lane. I always think Lover's Lane sounds a bit naughty. Vinny Blair says, I bet they will still maintain a residence at KP. I think so too, where they will work every day, but will call Frogmore their official residence. Well, with modern technology, you can kind of work from home if you need to. But I did have a feeling about why they were gifted the cottage rather than the big house where they had their wedding reception. And I think it's because if they do need to hold any functions, for example, they can hold the functions at the big Frogmore house and be really close. A little bit the same as Prince Charles uses St James's Palace next to Clarence House, where he lives, for some official engagements. And William and Catherine and Harry previously obviously used the state apartments at Kensington Palace for any events that they want to host. So I do think there's a little bit of that in it. And of course, there'll be plenty of room for Doria. People were worried about where Doria might stay when she visits. Well, there's plenty of room in a 10-bedroom cottage, which is more of a mansion than a cottage, really. Don't be fooled by the word cottage. Or if Doria's staying, maybe she could stay in the main Frogmore house. Who knows? Or even if Doria's moving to the UK. I really don't know. Again, we have to wait and see with some of these things. Hello to Martin Gahan. Mimi Thomas says, Her Majesty the Queen has such a full schedule. I'm so proud of her at her age. She is full on. The Queen Mother as well. She worked. She was still doing 80-odd engagements a year, even, in her hundreds. And the Queen shows, no sign of drastically dropping yet. When I say dropping, I mean dropping engagements, not dropping down, literally. No, don't even go there. But she's still, keeping up with her, she's still in the hundreds, maybe 300 engagements a year. She's slowly handing things down and passing on the mantle to the younger generation and Charles and Camilla. But she's still a workhorse. She's still a tireless workhorse. And I think we all love her for it. How many 90-year ladies in their 90s or gentlemen in their 90s are still working so profusely as what Her Majesty is? I think she deserves tremendous respect. Mimi says, I have something to say about the new house. Please say it. Hello to Lillian Rose. Kiki Smith says, I saw a channel the other day saying Harry and Meghan were divorcing. Really? Where's my fan? That is fake news. Definitely. It gets the black fan. And I'm glad you didn't click on it. Everyone's learning now. Hello to Regina Collier, whose first time it is here. Let's have a look. Adavis says, how is Meghan truly perceived by the British public? Well, of course, everyone has their own individual opinions about things and different people, and everyone has their favourite royals. But in my own life, I've not heard anybody saying anything bad about Meghan. I really haven't. And of course, when you do hear things, you only hear, usually it's the negative things that you hear over, of course, all the good things, which, of course, we know from the internet. The comments and, protests and all that kind of thing that are negative always get the attention above the positive, which, of course, I'm trying to change on this channel. So, you do hear some things, but I don't believe that the majority of the British public have anything bad really to say about Meghan. I think everyone can say that she's done a fantastic job so far. Gray says, is there going to be a new documentary about Meghan's first year as a royal? I believe there was something in the US this week, which I didn't have a chance to see. But as far as I'm aware in the UK, I haven't heard of anything. But then again, sometimes these things just crop up. Let me know if you've heard of anything, but I haven't heard of anything. Hope says, I'm thankful for my family and friends. Sue says, I love your attitude. You always brighten my day. Thank you. Arnold says, an Australian royal watcher said Meghan should work down to her staff instead of them keeping up to her. If you've got staff and, they need to adapt to how you work, I'm not saying you need to be horrible to your staff. I'm not saying Meghan's being horrible to her staff, but we don't know how true the rumours are about her, being up all the time and calling them in the middle of the night. And I've heard all kinds of rumours. We know that she writes her own speeches, which is, I think, a really positive thing. But, they will sort out their staff. If people don't like the way that they work, they'll move on. It happens in the labour market. That's why it's called a labour market. They will find people eventually that are, suitable to them and the way that they work. It's our Fenwick Live says, yes, we are very thankful for the internet. I love getting to connect with so many people from so far away. We spent yesterday reflecting on many things we are thankful for. And I think it's good for everyone just to take some time in the year to take stock. And I think Christmas in the UK is one of our big times and our big day, where we all come together as a family or a friendship group, whatever it might be, whatever you might have. Although we do have to remember some people that might not have anybody to spend with on Christmas. That's why there's lots of charity schemes here in the UK where you can actually invite people to your own Christmas dinner. And I can't remember the name of it, but it happened a while ago. And there's different phone schemes where you can ring, elderly people or people that may not have anybody. So Google them and see. You might be able to help and make a difference to someone's life at Christmas. Thank you, Pam G, who says I'm looking good. Candice Bavaria says, Pollyanna, love it. Find something to be glad about. Sharon, oh, hang on. No. Let's just have a look. There we go. Okay, hello. I think I've removed the troll. There we go. Sharon Nichols says, hello from Florida. You look especially dashing tonight. Thank you. I have many things to be thankful for, most importantly, my family and friends. Christina Allen says, Meghan ranks 6th in popularity of the royals. Well, polls. It depends who they've asked. And it depends what the sample size is and what, don't always believe polls. Patsy says, hi, Elliot. Greetings from Trinidad. You're doing such a great job. Oh, don't forget that lovely Trinidad and Tobago package I had. I still haven't sampled it yet. I need to. In fact, I want to make a tasting video. The parcel that I thought I'd lost, I've got. I retrieved it. I retrieved it from the Parcel Force depot. It was still there. They delivered it to my door. I have the parcel, and I'm going to open it at some point. It might even be tomorrow. I might include it in the vlog. Let's have a look. Live, Love and Laugh says hello. Hello to you. Sorry if I'm skipping some comments. I want a few questions. Let's have a look. Hope says, I love your YouTube channel because you always speak the truth about the royals. Well, thank you so much. Well, I can hear a cat coming in. It's Molly. No, it's not. It's Rory. If you see a tail, it's Rory. Look. Oh, there you go. Oh, it's just missed the camera. Come on up. Sonia says, you're good with the breaking news. Thank you so much. Verna thinks the Kensington Cottage is too small. Too small. It's 10 bedrooms once it's finished being converted. I'd hate to see what you think is big. My goodness. Let's have a look. Vinnie Blair says, there are many people out there without a job who are willing to work around the Sussex's schedule. That is true. Sorry if I'm a little bit behind all the comments. When I stop to chat and you keep talking, I get behind quite a bit. So I'm going to try and flick through some. So sorry if I've missed some. Tim says, let's get to 100,000 subscribers. Oh my goodness, I would love it. I'm nearly at 71,000. So I'm thankful to every person that's subscribed. But I definitely want that plaque. I want that plaque. If I get that plaque for 100,000 subscribers, I will do an unveiling video just like the Queen. I will even dress up as the Queen. There you go. So if you haven't already, do subscribe. Chris says the brothers have always been the best of friends and always will be. Nothing will come between them. God bless. I agree, especially what they've been through. Plum Bird says the Gloucesters are not giving up the promise of living in a palace. Well, that's not what the story was. The story was that they're going to have smaller accommodation within the palace. Does that mean Nottingham Cottage? I don't know. Sue Larson doesn't believe there is any tension. Sorry if I'm missing a few questions. Sonia says over 400 watching. My goodness. Thank you so much. How many? 464. My goodness. Hello to everybody. Please give me a big thumbs up if you're watching. And yes, I don't believe for a moment that there are any tensions. Martin Gahan says there are no royal fights. Lauren says, what am I drinking? Water tonight. Sorry. I am going to be back on the tea very soon. It's still better on my throat after that horrible tonsillitis I had. Muriel says, no, the Gloucesters are moving into the apartment vacated by the Queen's longtime secretary who has retired. There is one, but again, nothing confirmed on it. Not that I've seen. If you have seen a confirmation, let me know. There's so many stories and fake news stories and mixed in with real stories out there. You guys are sometimes my eyes and ears. Sometimes I'll read comments in videos and telling me to go and check something out, and I may not have seen something. So, you know, do tell me if you see something and you've got proof of something. Let me know, and I'll take a look and see if it's real or not. I'll see what I think. Arnold says the British tabloids are trying to pin a radical mosque on Meghan. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I hope they're not, whatever it might be. Manuela says, ciao from Italy, bravo. And thanks for your video. Thank you so much for watching. Go Getter Think says, wow, you look marvellous. Do I really? This little ensemble, do you like the purple lining? It's an, what is it? Oh, Oswald Boateng jacket. There you go. Oswald Boateng. I've had it years. Do you know I've had this since I was 18 years old. Shh. I'm recycling it in true Princess Anne style. Yes, I've had this since I was 18. And I'm a few years older now, shall we say. Catherine says, William and Harry are grown men. They both have family. They both are growing. Yes, but see, when people say they're living next door to each other at Kensington Palace, they're not. These are massive, humongous 21-room apartments. And actually, Nottingham Cottage is on the other side. It's like 2 courtyards away. They are not cheek to jowl, shall we say. Vinnie Blair says, you keep saying not cot is perfectly fine. No, it's not. I wouldn't live in it, and I'm not a princess. There's at least a 4-bedroom apartment available in the palace. Well, Nottingham Cottage, I think, is charming. It's 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 2 receptions, that kind of thing. William and Catherine lived in it whilst George was very, very young until they moved into their own apartment. It's perfectly fine for 2 adults and a very small child. It's good as a base, and I do think that they will possibly still use it as a London base. But of course, Frogmore Cottage, being 10 bedrooms, incredibly much larger, is a more ideal family official residence, which is why I think that might be what the option is. Jeff says, I can't find any pictures of Frogmore Cottage. Everything is Frogmore House. In my video, the last one I did, there is an old photograph, and there are a few, you know, recent photographs floating around, but they're only of the side back entrance, what it appears to be. There's like a little gate that says, you know, the little slogan on the gate, and it's just the back, and it's a very small kind of cropped photo. So there are no really good photographs that I've come about. Not yet, anyway. I live, love and laugh said, what happened to York Cottage? It was never obviously a gift. That was obviously now being proven to be a fake news story, as I suggested. Urbanet says, Harry and Meghan can still use Frogmore House in the future for official receptions, for Commonwealth relations and events while they live in the cottage. Yes, that's kind of like what I said. Larry is Canadian and living and watching in the Pacific of the USA. Northwest Pacific is that. Kathy says, what's up with Beatrice and her new man? That's Princess Beatrice. Apparently, his mother-in-law says she didn't even know they were separated and the wife is sleeping on a friend's couch. Okay, I looked into this story. There was a whole article on it. Now, Princess Beatrice does have a new man in her life. They've only been dating, what, I don't know, 3 months or something of that nature. It says they've had, you know, a handful of dates and 1 holiday. So it's a really early stage in the relationship. If you listen to the tabloids, they would have you believe there's going to be a wedding next month. No. It's very early days. And it also says in this article that he broke up with the ex-partner, wife, whatever she is, who is now sleeping on someone's couch. 6 months ago. So work it out, do the math. She's been dating 3 months, he split 6 months. So there's a 3-month gap of where he wasn't dating anyone and he'd separated. So Princess Beatrice is not a homewrecker. I'm going to denounce it as fake news. Definitely not. I think people are trying to paint her as a homewrecker and she's not. So don't even go there. Just do the math. Yale says, I think people say there's tension because with the arrival of Meghan, Harry and Meghan are on the second rank when Kate and William are on the first. I think people just like causing drama and trouble. Nothing more, nothing less. Tim says, Buckingham Palace is looking for 2 housekeepers, free room and board. Okay, if I didn't have a long-term life partner, 18 years, it's a life sentence, but a good one. So yes, because I've got a partner, my own home in Shropshire, giving it all up, moving to London to live in a room, I could never even contemplate it. But for anyone who is, Tim says that the Buckingham Palace is looking for 2 housekeepers. So feel free to check out their website and apply if you want to work in the palace. Victoria says, live in the cottage, entertain in the house. Visit London and still have somewhere to stay. Yes, I think that would be perfect. China Michelle says, I believe in reality. Reality says there is 2 beautiful people who love each other and want to have privacy. What better place than the beautiful properties of Frogmore Cottages? Yes, I completely agree. Marilyn says, I would love to have tea with Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall. She looks fun. And if I did, I'd probably ask to try on her hats. I like her hats. Vanya Blair says, the Queen's private secretary left this summer. His 4-bedroom place is available. Stop with the not cot. They are pregnant. You're not a parent. Well, maybe if it's to be believed that the Gloucesters are going to move out, maybe the Gloucesters are going to move into this 4-bedroom accommodation. Maybe that's what the plan is. Maybe that bit is true news. We're going to have to just wait and see. I'm joined by a cat right here. Shall I see if I can get him? Come here. Come here, you. Oh, he's run off. No, he's not. He's wobbling the table. Do you want to come up? Come up then. Live or live says, oh my God, you look amazing. Thank you so much. Sheila says, I don't believe it was leaked. I think the world was deliberately put out in some way. Harry gave the journalist the truth of his dating Meghan. The haters started to abuse the Gloucesters. I just think it's just news that's out there. Am I blurry? I keep seeing the camera going out of focus. Ava says, I would love to have tea with the Countess of Wessex. Ken says, if you think the Duchess of Cornwall will be Queen Consort, which crown do you think she will use? I'm thinking Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother's crown for the emotional connection. Well, the different Queen Consorts have traditionally had their own Queen Consort crown made and set, obviously recycled all the diamonds. And the Koh-i-Noor has always gone in the front. So maybe she will have her own crown frame made, or she may just take on the Queen Mother's consort crown, maybe have it adjusted to fit her head, obviously. But that's probably the most likely option. Pamela Stevens says, I hope one day when available that Harry and Meghan will move into apartment 1 next to William and Catherine. I just love the idea of a cosy Fab 4. Again, who knows? We really are going to, after this weekend, we really are going to have to just wait and see what comes out and what's been confirmed. Priscilla says, can they change the furniture? What, in Frogmore Cottage? I very much doubt there's anything worth keeping whatsoever. It looks in a right dilapidated state. I can imagine, oh, by the way, it's grade listed, which also puts restrictions on the refurbishments. It has to be a real true restoration. If it's already been divided up, obviously before maybe it was even listed as a listed building, the authorities will want it to be put back exactly as it was, using original materials, keeping to original floor plans where possible. Extensions would have to be incredibly sympathetic, if allowed at all. So I'm not convinced that the work will be finished by the time baby Sussex arrives. They may have to still live in Nottingham Cottage until this is complete. Building work takes a long time, and you can come up with all kinds of problems, especially with older properties. June says, I think it is a strategic mistake for Harry and Meghan not to give their children titles. Well, basically, I've been through this before. They aren't choosing not to give them titles. It's up to the Queen whether she wishes to issue letters patent, change the rules in effect, to give them HRH and princely or princess status now. But as soon as Charles becomes king, they will get HRH and prince and princess anyway. Unless, of course, like Prince Edward, they choose not to. But again, we don't know if that's true. All these things about they want them to be brought up as normally as possible, they are never going to be normal children. William and Harry were never normal children. It's just not the case, especially with all the high profile. Yes, they're a lot further down the succession line. And of course, as they get older, they'll get even more further down. I don't think they'll ever have any prominent royal role, but they will still be well known in the UK. They'll still have lots of attention attached to them because of who their parents are and possibly who they become in later life as their own individual self-deciding adult, as we say, once they're raised. So they're never going to have a normal childhood. I think the most likely scenario is that they'll follow in William and Harry's footsteps. They'll be taken to see what real life is. I think they'll know from an early age probably that they are very lucky and fortunate, and that not everyone has what they have. I'm sure they'll be shown food banks that operate in the country, homeless shelters. I'm sure they'll go to normal things like theme parks and all the rest of it, just like William and Harry were, very much in the mold that Princess Diana set. So I think we'll just see a continuation of that, and obviously Harry and Meghan's own style put in there too. Sharon Hill Walker says, I would love to have tea with Camilla and Charles. They seem a hoot. If I met them, you'd have to make a funny noise to make them laugh. What funny noise would you make to make Charles and Camilla laugh? Hello to everyone in Ohio, I should say. People saying hello, Mr. Brown. You don't know who Mr. Brown is, but I do. So thank you for saying hello to Mr. Brown. Tracy would like to have tea with Prince Charles and Camilla too, and Harry and Meghan. You can only have one. Yvette says, love the 4 tiara announcement thumbnail. This close and your paws look marvellous. Dewy. Yes, with my dewy rose mist glow. I'll do some more. Ah, it smells divine. Yes. Oh my goodness. No, it's gone up. It's not 4 anymore. It's 5. Okay, I've ordered 5 tiaras. I hang my head in shame. I saw some really good replicas. You're going to have to wait and see the tiara haul. So I bought 4 accidentally from a website yesterday morning. And then in the evening, I bought another one. Oops. Yeah, oops. So when they come, we'll have a tiara fest. Yay. I'm not going to tell you which ones. Can you guess which ones I've got? They're well known. They're well known royal tiaras. Oh, I'm going to try and read this. Is it in Spanish or Italian? Astrid says, Hola, como siempre, muy what? Entretenido. Entretenido. There we go. I don't know what I just said. Lots of people saying hello, Mr. Brown. I'm skipping down a few comments, so sorry if I've missed a few. Yvette says, did I miss the brooch? It's one of my, it's actually my grandmother's. She passed away, and that's one of my grandmother's. Sharon Hill Walker says, I wouldn't mind working at the palace as a cook. Tracy says, what do I think about Samantha trying a reality show? This is what I think of Samantha trying a reality show. Yeah, I think that just about says it all. Vicky P says, I don't know if Meghan will go to the Lindo wing because it's a bit far from Windsor, which is another reason why I think she will keep Kensington Palace. You know, I mean, it might not even be the Lindo wing where she gives birth. again, that's another thing we'll have to wait and see. It's not been announced. I think it's still the most likely course of action, however. Floss and Rog says, Frogmore House is open to the public like Kensington and Clarence House. They'll appreciate the privacy at Frogmore Cottage like William and Catherine at Anma. Well, Frogmore House, the main house, is only open, I think it's 2 days in July, possibly towards the end of July, and by appointment only in August. So even if they had moved to Frogmore House, that's usually when the royals have their holiday anyway, so they could choose to be at Balmoral or go abroad. I don't think it would have been a huge problem. Just the same as Prince Charles and Camilla, Clarence House, their home in London is open to the public all the way through the summer. Sorry if I'm skipping a few comments. Anita says, I heard a rumour that Frogmore House or Cottage is haunted. No, I think that is definitely fake news. D-Ray says, thank you for clarifying these rumours. Do you have any information about the hub kitchen? Yes, Megan, obviously, I'm sure you've seen my video. She went back and she went to see the renovations of the hub community kitchen. So I think it was open either 2 or 3 days a week, but it's now open 7 and it's been completely refurbed. It looks fabulous. And she was cooking. She was doing one of her favourite pastimes and loves, and she was helping them cook and prepare the food. So she looked completely in her element. So do go and check out that video. Live, Love and Laugh would love to have tea with Prince Charles. And yes, I think after the documentary, he does seem like a very fun guy. Hello to Betsy, who's in Maine, USA. Okay, I'm going to skip lots of comments, I think, now about Frogmore, because I'm kind of repeating the same thing. And I want to get a little bit further down in the comments to catch up with you guys so that we're more live. Yes, I think Camilla's a bit of a hoot as well. I think she's fun. The First Mrs. R says, I would love to hang out with the Duchess of Cornwall. And Dee Dee says, do you think these silly Hurricane Meghan stories will cease? Probably not. But anybody who's, you know, a successful female making it in the world, doing good work, is always going to be a target for those who want to bring people down. So no, I don't think the Hurricane Meghan things are going to stop. I wish they would. But I suppose you have to think about it. Because she's being so successful, that's why we're hearing these stories. So, you know, at least she's being successful. No, Lauren, I haven't sent my Christmas cards. I've bought my Christmas cards. I'm going to send physical ones, not Moonpig like I normally do. I've got to write them. I'm posting them Monday. I'm definitely posting Monday. Let's have a look. I'm skipping. I'm going down. Any presents to open today? No, because the one box is a huge box and I want to make it a special video on it in my vlog. Victoria Ashley says, I love the fake news fan flap. Can't stop laughing. And my fake news goggles. So when I see some fake news, I'm looking and watching everybody. We have a cat back. I don't think he wants to be filmed today. Come on. I'm going to get you. Okay, I've got you. Right, you stay there. No, I tried. He doesn't want to be on camera today. He wants to sit by my feet. Let's have a look. I'm going down a few comments. Mrs. VSN says, I watched the documentary and was not happy with it. I did record because it was the Duchess. I hope that one day documentaries will not mention the death of Diana. It changes the mood immediately. I suppose it's because it's a very important part of the whole narrative, but I would agree with you, I think. I'm late, says Brooke. What did I miss? Lots. But you can always watch on catch up. Cheryl says, the documentary about Meghan in the US showed on ABC last night, and it was very nice. I need to find it on YouTube or somewhere. Is it on YouTube? Can someone find it for me? Post me the link. And yes, I agree, there's so much negative news stories going on. Sheila says the Cambridges and Sussexes can live in Kensington Palace apartments at the same time. They can indeed. What? C Mac says, I laughed when someone said the Duchess of Sussex looks like a man. Who on earth said that? My goodness. But Brooke says, you look smashing. Thank you. Stephanie says, I've been listening, not watching. Just looked up and you look very handsome. Well, that's another good thing about this chat. Not looking handsome. I don't think I do, but thank you anyway. But no, my point is, you know, if you're busy and you're doing your housework, you can use these chats a bit like a podcast as well. So that's a really good point from Stephanie. Thank you. Come on up. June says, I disagree that Prince George will make Harry irrelevant, as it said on the show. Oh, did it say that? I think Harry and Meghan are keeping the Cambridges relevant. Harry will and Meghan will always have a prominent position within the royal family. Yes, it's going to go down the Cambridge line. And I think Harry and Meghan's children and their children are not going to be as relevant. I would agree with that there. They aren't going to be because they're not in that prominent position. And things do kind of over time get watered down. But Harry and Meghan, throughout their lifetimes and possibly their children's lifetime, I think they are going to have, you know, some kind of a prominent role. And I think it will be lifelong, just like the Queen's cousins, who are still working today. And of course, I did make that collection video of all the different lesser known royal engagements that have happened this week. And, you know, you can clearly see the Duchess of Gloucester is still busy working. And there are lots of engagements that don't get the full attention. Mary West says, was there an announcement from Capri about Harry and Meghan? Yes, I've made loads. I made 2 videos on it. Well, 1 video, I should say. Marilyn, I've not read the Camilla Tominey article. Is it a new one? I haven't read it yet. Victoria says, show us the boat closer. Closer, closer. There you go. Can you see? And my nan's pearls as well. Oh, and another tiny brooch here. I forgot this one. Another pearl brooch. I want to go and get what I was going to... Can I disappear just for 2 seconds? I need to go and get something. It was going to be part of the whole ensemble, but I didn't get it. But I think I should. So I'm going to just dash and get it really, really quickly. So don't go anywhere. I will be 2 seconds. I'm back. I'm sure you can hear me before you see me. Okay. I can't believe I forgot it. I put it on the side. It's the Cambridge Lovers Knot Tiara, and it was going to go with all my pearls. Here you go, look. It's the Cambridge Lovers Knot Tiara. And I have, of course, attached elastic to it to secure it. It doesn't come with elastic. I put the elastic on. But I wanted to wear this with the whole outfit. So let's see, shall we? Let's put it on. There we go. With tiara. Let me know what you think. Is it better, the outfit better with tiara or without? I know my hair kind of hides a lot of it, but that's the way it is. Sheila Bloom says, where did this garbage about the tiara come from? Do you mean the tiara gossip about Meghan falling out with the Queen or wanting the Emerald tiara? I don't know. That was completely fake news. Gail says, are there any cousins or family members of Harry's that live in Windsor? Yes. Of course, the Yorks live there. Sarah, Duchess of York, and Prince Andrew live there at Royal Lodge. And yes, and the Wessexes have a property there too. And of course, the Queen when she's there at weekends. Thank you for the link to the Meghan TV special. Thank you to Liza Dye. Loves a Bargain says, hello from Brooklyn. I love a bargain too, don't we all? Thanking you for always bringing the truth to us. I do try, as you all know. PC says, you are at 71,011 subscribers. Yay! I made it to 71. My goodness. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed. I'm not sure I quite understand the question, but Lou Guy says, why is Harry so easily displaced, yet he's so popular? It's just the line of succession. It does push people further down the line, but it doesn't mean that he's any less prominent. Okay, sorry if I'm skipping a few more. Fismy Czar says, off topic, you know I'm a social scientist. I didn't. You're looking at the wall hanging behind me, and you see a social network map. I know I need help. It's the Royal Standard. Or do you mean the this? It's just some wall art. Lou Guy says, I find this moving Harry and Meghan around distasteful. They're doing it of their own volition. Sorry if I'm skipping some. Sheila says, they are not separated in the eyes of the majority of people who understand the function of the royal family. As a family, they stick together. They do indeed. Okay. Sorry, I am going down some of the... oh, Angela says, Google Adelaide Cottage. It's another name for Frogmore Cottage. I don't think it is. No, I think Adelaide Cottage was something completely different. I do believe it's different. I don't think it's the same thing. Adelaide Cottage, I'm sure I remember looking at it myself, and it was right on the water. You could see the lake from it. This cottage, Frogmore, it's not the same thing. And wasn't Adelaide Cottage... I'll do another check, but I don't think it's the same thing. Carissa says, do they live like Downton Abbey? No, those times were long gone. I mean, yes, the royal family retained a lot of that for longer than what a lot of aristocrats did. But even the modern royal family, it's not completely like Downton Abbey. Yes, the Queen will have footmen and all the rest of it, even dressers. So to a certain point, maybe the Queen lives a little bit more like Downton Abbey. But the true days of the aristocratic, having all the servants and the massive household, are largely gone, unless, of course, you are incredibly wealthy. The people that actually live like that mostly today are, these really, really wealthy, sheikhs and oligarchs and all that kind of thing. These really, the billionaires of our world, fancy a slice of that life. And, of course, they can afford it. Vinny Blair says, Princess Margaret and the Gloucesters were not living on top of each other. Princess Margaret and Diana were not living on top of each other. No one at Kensington Palace is living on top of one another. Exactly. It's massive. It's huge. It's not like you're squidged into little tiny living accommodation, unless, of course, you are in one of the very smaller accommodations. Lots of people wanting to speak to Harry over a cup of tea. I don't know who told Emily Andrews about the move to Frogmore. Whether it was leaked, whether it was planned, whether she had an inside source, I do not know. But I do wish they would reveal sources, because it would help everyone else to decipher what's true and what's not. It's our Fenwick Live says, Rory, your fans await. Come up on the couch and let us adore you. He's not playing game. He's not playing ball today. I'm sorry. I will get him in one of the vlogs. I promise. He's still there now. He's sat down on the floor just looking at me. He's like, I do not wish to be viewed today. You're not going to see my gorgeousness. I'll get him. Don't worry. Vicky P says they stopped taking bets on Meghan having twins. Again, no, I don't even... Okay, she'll know she's having twins. But I think she's quite a traditionalist. I don't think she'll know, the sex of the baby. I don't think she'll want to know the sex of the baby. I think she'll want it to be a surprise. But whether it's twins or not, we don't know. Probably not. I mean, it's probably likely it's just one baby. But just one baby is enough. I think we'll be quite happy with a healthy baby, whether it's, twins or not. Mary West says, I saw there were apartments for staff at Frogmore Cottage, so it will have to be turned back into one family home. Yes, 5 apartments. So that's a lot of work. And I very much doubt it will be done in time for April. It depends how long ago they started work on it. Yes, it is a right dilapidated state, says Lugai. It is. It is in a dilapidated state. Okay. Oh, 494 watching. How many now? 499. Have I ever got past 500 before? I don't know. Hello to all of you. So I am literally scrolling down comments. If I've missed any and it was really important, please do repeat. Thank you to Maya. Yes, I am at 71,000 subscribers. My goodness. Lynn's B says, wowzers, look at you. Wolf whistle. Jamie needs to keep an eye on you. It's that Fenwick Live says, no worries. I accidentally buy things all the time. I can't wait to see the tiaras. It was an accident. It really was. Yes, that's all I'm going to say. But they are amazing. They are as good a replica as you can possibly get for the price that I paid. And of course, it was Black Friday as well. So I had a bit of a good bargain, and I think you will love all of them. Cindy says, does Jason know about my tiara purchases? I told him very quickly today as he was about to leave the house for work. I did mention, oh, by the way, I've accidentally bought 5 tiaras. Yeah. Have a good day at work. Pam G says, Rory and Molly come out and Molly's down the very bottom end of the house asleep on a chair, and Rory's keeps coming in and out. I think he wants to be let out, but he'll have to wait now. He wants to go outside. I don't know why. It's really cold. Sharon Hill says the special aired about Harry and Meghan said that their popularity will most likely fade and the shift will turn more to William and Catherine as they will be the next queen or king. Yes, attention will shift, but I don't think people are going to be any less interested in Harry and Meghan. Do you? Are you going to be less interested in Harry and Meghan? I don't think so. Okay. Vinny Blair says Frogmore Cottage is not in the dilapidated state of the photo going round. Staff live. When I say dilapidated, I don't mean that it can't be lived in. I don't mean it's like a complete wreck. I know that dilapidated means, what I mean is rundown. It doesn't look like it's had a lot of attention over the last goodness knows how many years. I'm sure it is completely fine to live in as it is for the different staff accommodation, but it is not by any chance this amazing building already. You know, it's charming, it's characterful, but it's certainly not done up. It does need a lot of renovation. The renovations will likely cost 1.2 million, maybe £2 million. Who knows? I think it needs gutting, basically. I know because I live in an old cottage myself. This room that I'm in now is, when was it built? 1840. So I know what it's like to renovate a house. This was completely gutted back in the 90s by my parents. They gutted it. I'm in it now, and I know what work it took when I did my extension down the other end where the cats are. It's a lot of work, and especially with a listed building, you have to jump through so many hoops. You really do. Believe me, there's a lot of work that needs to go into that Frogmore Cottage. But I think they're the right people to take it on. Lou Guy says, thank goodness Charles stepped up for Harry and Meghan again. He's been a real blessing for these kids. He's very, very good. I agree. Yvette says, your grandma's taste catches my eye. I do like the pearls every now and again. Yes, Kiki, I agree. We probably still have a Diana today if she'd put a seatbelt on. I agree. Pam G says, do the royal family ever let senior citizens have summer jobs at Buckingham Palace? At 63, you are curious and it would be an outstanding experience. I don't know. I mean, they do take on summer positions. I see absolutely no reason why a 63-year-old couldn't, for example, work in the palace shop or in one of the cafes, one of the tea rooms, or doing any kind of job, really. I mean, just because you're 63 does not mean that you should be put out to pasture. So go for it. If you think you can do it, apply for one of the summer jobs. Vicky P says, did I get Princess Eugenie's wedding tiara? No, it's not that one. And the reason why, and I know I'm going to get shot down in flames here, but emeralds are not my colour. I'm not saying I don't like them on other people. I think Princess Eugenie looked stunning in her emerald tiara, but not on me. I will not be buying emeralds. So I'm afraid I didn't get that one, but I did get 5 other amazing replica tiaras. So watch this space. Let me know what your favorite gemstone is. Sapphire, ruby. In fact, one of my favorites, it's not really a gemstone. Is it a gemstone? I like opals. Opal is one of my favorites, actually. Let me know what your favorite gemstone is, or precious stone, semi-precious stone. But I like opals and sapphires. Oh, Rory's back. He's down here. Urbanet says, do I think Brexit will affect the royal family in a negative way? No. You were in London this week from abroad and felt a gloomy atmosphere. Maybe I was wrong. I think it's gloomy because the weather's gloomy. It was a gloomy week. Literally, physically, it was a gloomy week. Although I am still praying for rain. Because it's going dark now, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, there's still a royal gift that I've been given, and I want to do a video on it, but I can't do it unless it's raining. You can probably guess what it is by now, but I need it to be raining. I need it to be daylight so that you can see me using it. So we have had rain, but it's always been when it's dark. So I need rain in the day. So please do a rain dance for me. I need rain in the daytime. And yes, the hub kitchen looks amazing. Do go and check out my video. Liza D's posted me another documentary, which I will check out. Thank you so much. Am I wearing a pocket watch? No. I fooled you. It's pearls. Look. It's my nan's pearls. So, pearls it is. Lady in Red says, is that old black and white picture you're talking about? Or there's some more? I haven't seen any internal Frogmore Cottage pictures. If you do find them, let me know. But I haven't seen any. I've only seen an old black and white external, which is, I think, the best view of the cottage that we have, other than the aerial photographs, which I put in my video, so do go and check those out. There are a few, like I said, kind of close photos of it, which show a little bit of the back. Because if you look at my aerial photographs, you can see where some of the more modern photographs are taken, and it's at the back with a little narrow strip of grass with a gate. But you can't really see terribly much of it, just kind of a close view of the back. Mariana, join the club. I have a hard time catching up with all the comments. I'm probably about 20 minutes behind. Am I left-handed? That's a question of debate. When I was young, I used to go for things and go for my pen with my left hand, but I was corrected. This was the 80s. It was the early 80s, and I was corrected. So I write with my right hand, but I tend to go for lots of things with my left hand. So I've ended up a mixture of ambidextrous, kind of. But I think I would naturally have been a left-handed person, but I'm all over the place. I mean, it doesn't do good for my handwriting, but there we go. Sheila Bloom says, cats don't come at your beck and call. Tell me about it. But dogs do. Go-Getter says, where are you looking for the tiaras? I've only found tiaras for pageants and weddings. They are everywhere. No, they're not. They are in limited places. Some are incredibly expensive. I mean, you can get some exact replicas, not in diamonds, but exact replicas. But they're like £500–600 upwards. The ones I've got are a lot more affordable. You can find them on Amazon, and there's also a new website which, once I get them, I will show you what they are, and I will share all the links. So watch this space. Of course, I will tell you where to get them from. But just do a search on Amazon for some of my other ones, like this one, type in Royal Replica Tiara or Royal Tiara, and you will see some. They will pop up, hopefully, if they're available in your area. Pam G says the picture posted on Instagram of Charles signing a guest book while Camilla looks on fondly. Love the picture. Would love to visit them and have a chat. They are so much in love. I love love, and I love to see love. So big up for Charles and Camilla. Okay, I'm skipping down a few comments again. Oh, First Bizarre says, I never made the connection between the Duchess of Cornwall and Tom Parker Bowles. Camilla's his mum. Until you saw MasterChef last week. Did you know that what Camilla's daughter does? Oh, I did know and I forgot. You've asked me and it's gone out of my head. I did know and I've totally forgotten. Is she something in fashion? Is she in fashion? Do I have fashion in my head? I will find out for next week. Can someone Google it for me now? I want to know now. Is it fashion? Arnold says, isn't it a security risk showing aerial photos of the cottage? Not really. Once they're in, they will have their own massive security, just like William and Catherine. If you go on Google, you can see all aerial. I mean, Buckingham Palace is the most, probably one of the most London's aerial viewed palaces going. No, I don't think showing an aerial photograph is going to do anything. If anybody wants to get in, they will do their own aerial photograph search. But they won't get in because security will be second to none. Thank you for people who are giving me comments on the pearl brooch. It's our Fenwick Live says, it is a beautiful tiara. Oh, thank you. Maybe you can see a bit more at the back if I just kind of twiddle a bit. I know my hair gets in the way, but I'm not doing flat hair. No. Dee Dee says, link to ABC's Meghan documentary aired Thanksgiving Day here in the US. I really want to see it and see what it says. Maya J says, aiming to reach the Queen's record of 71 years. Yes, the Queen has been married for 71 years. My goodness. Well, I'm not married, but I've made 18 years. But I can't imagine 71. My goodness. That is amazing. Pam G says, that tiara is gorgeous. How elegant. Looks great on you. Thank you so much. You'll see lots more tiaras in the coming weeks, I'm sure. But the ones I've ordered the bulk for have got to come from Canada, I do believe. They're Canadian. Tracy says, love the tiara. Ken says, I think you should get the George IV state diadem. Maybe I did. Live, Love and Laugh says, Harry and Meghan will be relevant till William's kids are old enough to carry out engagements. Or whenever Harry decides to retire. And Mrs. VSN says, now you're fully dressed. I needed the tiara, didn't I? It goes with the pearls. Thank you for all the tiara comments. Sue Miller says, tea with Charles and Camilla would be a hoot. I would have to brush up on the goons. Neddy Seagoon, here we come. Yes, the Goons, if you don't know, is UK comedy. Jane Eyre says, you're adorable. Thank you so much. And yes, please share the link of all the different things that we've been talking about. Veronique says, magnificent pearl brooches. And your tiara is good too. Rory's back. He keeps wanting to come in. I think he wants me to finish so I can cuddle him or let him out. You'll have to wait. Will Camilla's children get titles when she becomes queen? No. They may be given honours. They may even get MBEs, knighthoods, maybe, if they've done something that actually warrants giving it. But no, not titles. Goodbye to Tracy. Yvonne, yes, I'm live. Yes, Frogmore Cottage has also been known as Double Garden Cottage. But I agree, Barbie, who says, obviously, everyone looks better with a tiara. They do indeed. I would completely agree and concur. No, William and Harry are not having problems. It's all made up. I will check out the Adelaide Cottage, Frogmore Cottage thing, but I think they're different. I do think they're different. In fact, actually, I'll do it now. Hang on, let me just. I'll do a quick Google search. All I got to type in is Adelaide Cottage and see what comes up. Bear with me. I'll know instantly from the actual photograph of it. Let's have a look. I'm just skipping. Let's have a little peek. No, it is different. Let's have a look. I'm not sure if you can see, but that is Adelaide Cottage, and it is different to the photograph which I showed you on my video. So there you go. It is different. I knew it was. I just wanted to make sure, because you know I like to give you the truth. 497 are in the house. Oh, 502 now. Okay, I'm skipping a few comments again. Sorry. D Walker says you should buy crowns instead of tiaras. But I like the real replica ones, and the real replica crowns are incredibly expensive. In fact, the ones I've seen, they haven't even got a price by them. It's ring for price, and you know that if something says ring this number for the price, you can't afford it. Sweet Serenity says, have I seen the documentary of Diana's home? The brother renovated, incredibly beautiful. If it's new, no, but I have seen something on her ancestral home, but not if it's new. Julia Gatta says, how old am I? 35. Okay, I'm going down. Vicky P says, I think it's lovely that Queen Victoria and Albert are on the property because it was true love. And also, Queen Victoria's Abdul Karim also lived there. That was her aide, shall we say, to be politically correct in modern times. He was, of course, her. I don't know what the word is. I haven't seen the film, but he was very prestigious because obviously, the bigger the cottage you had, if you're staff, the more important and more in favour you were. So he did actually live there too, and he was, of course, one of Queen Victoria's favourites post Albert, of course. Vinny Blair says Adelaide Cottage is not near Frogmore House. Adelaide is in the middle of Windsor Park and where Peter Townsend used to live. See, I knew. I did say. I just wanted to make complete sure. I don't know where that's got mixed up with people. I'm not sure where that news has come from. Oh, okay. People saying their favourite gemstone. Hang on. MC Hammer likes garnet. Peridot is your birthstone, and it's mine too. But I'm not too keen on the green. Sheila Bloom says sapphire. D Walker's peridot. Pink tourmaline for Melody. Betsy likes emeralds. Barbara likes diamonds. Ken likes sapphires. Urbanet likes sapphires too. Barbara is a sapphire girl along with a few diamonds, aren't we all? Miranda says London blue topaz, and Leslie Lane Fenton says your bow tie is my favourite accessory so far. Thank you. G Mark says I like opals too. They are my birthstone. I like milky opals and fire opals and black opals. I just love any opals. Fire opals for Joyce. Alexandrite. I'm not sure I even know what colour Alexandrite is. Ceylon sapphires, then rubies for Stephanie. Kathy G likes diamonds. Verna says amethyst. Let's have a look. James Medford says, what a wonderful gift from Her Majesty, a huge home to renovate and make your home in. The Queen is most generous. She is indeed. She looks after her grandchildren and family, for that matter. Liza Dye says, yesterday I learned the British word for diapers is nappies. It is indeed, it's nappies. Do you think Harry will change many nappies or Meghan? Oh, I think they'll take it in turns. But, you know, I'm sure if you have the chance to pass on a dirty nappy, I think you would probably let someone else do it. I think they'll definitely have a nanny, but I think Meghan will be a very hands-on mom, as will Harry. But when it comes to the nappies, I think Harry may not try and do as many as maybe Meghan. I think Meghan will have the tally count on the nappies, but who knows? Who knows on that one? Deb Mack says, I have so much respect for the Queen. She's a generous, strong woman, and I am from the US. Okay, I'm going down the comments. Melody likes amethyst. Hello to Pansy in Alabama. And thank you for saying I look good. You'll be expecting this every week now. And yes, I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Okay, I am skipping, so sorry if I've missed your comment. Sticky Toes says, and I'm going to read it because we are open in here. Sticky Toes says, that thing on your head makes you look even more camp. Well, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Marriott says, how can I send a baby Sussex a gift that was handmade? If you address it to Kensington Palace in London, just the standard address that you can find on Google, it will get there. Whether or not it will actually reach Meghan and Harry personally, I don't know. But all gifts are recorded, and they can keep it if it's under £200. Carol says, oh, Elliot, that bling today, glorious. Thank you. Cindy says the word is concubine. Do you mean male concubine? My goodness. T Walker likes peridot power. Krista says, am I married? No. Tess says, what's the distance between Anmer Hall and Frogmore Cottage? Oh, a great distance. I will have to do an AA route finder. But yes, it is quite far. I mean, probably halfway across the country. Not up and down, I mean like literally horizontally across, maybe halfway. Okay, I'm skipping down. Jamie says, during the summer opening at the Palace and Windsor, there are plenty of people aged 60 plus, almost half of all employees. Well, there you go. Age is no barrier to working for the Queen. No, it's a lot more than 30 miles. Shall I do a search? Hang on. I'll tell you because I can work it out on the AA. In the UK, to work out distances, we use the AA route finder. Well, I do anyway. So let's have a look. From Frogmore House in Windsor to Anmer. Hang on. Anmer Hall. Okay, let's get the route and see how long it'll take and how many miles. 143 miles. And it takes 2 hours, 49 minutes by car, by road. And that's not accounting for traffic. So there you go. 143 miles. I said it was far. And so it is. Did I buy something on Black Friday? Yes, 5 tiaras. Okay. Sweet Serenity says, love how you read and answer questions. Could listen to you all night. Time to bid farewell. What time is it? Nearly an hour and a half. My goodness. D Walker, I've just read 3 of your comments because you've put, oh my God, he read 2 of my comments. I'm flattered. Well, now there's 3. Cindy says, yes, you are. In my mind, anyway, 18 years is married. It's a long time. My goodness. Sticky Toe says, why do you all admire the German imposters? Well, let's think about it a moment. Are they actually German? Yes, traditionally, the royals did marry European other royals, most prolifically, shall we say, Germans. However, when we get to the modern royal family, as in the last so many generations, it's become a lot more British in the gene pool, because obviously, as we know, the Queen Mother was Scottish. So we have the Scottish vibe coming in. Princess Diana was known as being an English rose. So if we're going down the Cambridge line, rather the Prince of Wales line. Then obviously William married Catherine, who is English. And now we're up to George. So when George is king, his family, his descendants in the royal family, it's going to be more British, more English than it is German. So I would very much question nowadays whether the royal family is genetically very German. I think it's been watered down quite a bit. You've only got to look at the family tree. Maya J says, women who work. I was replying to something someone said earlier, but I managed to disconnect myself and took a while getting back. Sanju says, hi Elliot, did you watch Meghan and Mark? I didn't, but someone sent me a link. So I will comment on that at a different time. Oh, I think I have actually made it all the way down to the bottom of the comments. So I need to check if there's anything that I've missed or anything that I've got written down which I wanted to speak about. And I think we've pretty much covered most of it. Let me know what you think about my Royal News Roundup videos, where I put lots of different engagements in one video. Let me know if you like those. I'm just seeing if I've literally missed anything. Oh yeah, Prince Charles had a new portrait this week that was it's hung in Australia House. And I don't know, I thought the background was very, very busy. I liked the likeness of him, but I thought for me, the background was very overpowering. He was quite, small in the composition compared to the background, and it was very busy. So I'm not quite sure I loved the background, but I loved the portrait of him. Let me know what you think about that. I did do a video with that. It was Meghan's first royal Thanksgiving, and we don't know how she spent it. We don't know if she cooked this amazing dinner, which everyone was speculating about. I would imagine that she did cook a dinner. Whether it was for private with just between Meghan and Harry, we don't know, or whether she invited other people round. We're not going to know unless we hear any comments from them themselves. The Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson, gave a Good Morning Britain interview in which she was joking around with Piers Morgan, one of the hosts. And yeah, she was very animated. I did talk about it in a separate video, so do go and check that one out. I won't go into too much detail, but I thought she came across really, really well. And she looks like she's having the time of her life. It's almost like Sarah has been reborn. So I'm happy for her. I feel really happy. We still don't know if Doria's coming for Christmas at Sandringham. We're still going to have to wait for that one. And we saw an extra Prince Louis photograph, the one where he was grabbing Charles's nose or grabbing at his face, which I thought was very, very sweet and cute. So check out my video on that too. And I think I've got to the end of my notes. Sam says, I like the roundup videos, especially the spotlighting of some less well-known royals. Sweet Serenity says there is a documentary series on Netflix concerning the name change World War One due to the attitude against Germans. Yes, they did change the name. It was Saxe-Coburg-Gotha. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it, but it's Saxe-Coburg-Gotha. And they changed it, of course, to the very British-sounding Windsor, the House of Windsor. Mrs. VSN says, when I saw the title of Royal Engagements, I immediately got excited at the thought of more weddings and then realised it was the work engagements. Jamie says the Queen is only 30% German by blood. And if you go down, like I said, to George, what are we down to now? I mean, it's negligible. Joe Bob says, I think they'll move to Frogmore Houses to pay tribute to Queen Charlotte. She was the first biracial queen. Her favourite place that King George gave her. Well, people keep saying that she's the first biracial queen, but I think we worked it out once. I think someone did a search. Her biracial history, you had to go back about 16 generations before you got to it. So it wasn't quite the same as Meghan, who is, what would you class, first generation biracial? Queen Charlotte, it was 16 generations in her past, up her family tree. So it's not entirely the same thing. She has, Queen Charlotte had biracial heritage, but it was a long way back before you got to Charlotte. Whereas obviously Meghan is first generation. Sticky Toes says, so why are they UK royals when they're German? Well, I think we've just answered the fact that they're not entirely all that German anymore. Used to be, but it's gone down. You've only got to check out the family tree, and that is the truth. And please try and argue with the truth and genes. Sweet Serenity says, bravo, you're correct about the name. Knew you would explain. Thank you. Marcella says, tiaras are back. You're looking dapper. Had a hot date, or is it dress up for us? No, I'm not on a hot date. I have got dressed up for you guys. I don't imagine I wear this lounging around the house, but yes, it is nice to get dressed up and put on your fancy clothes. Put on your glad rags, as we say here in the UK. Harlem Cat Tuck says, interesting name, says, you have the best info on the British royal family, the only info I trust. Thank you so much. And Annie Doll says, you look amazing. Okay, I am going to go now. My throat is held up for an hour and a half, so it's time to bid you all farewell. So if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a big old thumbs up. How many is watching now? 474. Don't forget to share on social media and hit that notification bell so that you know whenever I pop up and do a live video or whenever I post any video. I will be back next Saturday live at 10 o'clock GMT. That's British time. I will have some tea next week. I'm definitely bringing back my tea. Hopefully, I'm going to be posting a vlog tomorrow, although it's not going to be a full weekly vlog because I've not had time to film the whole week, but I will put together a whole load of random footage to make a vlog with lots of different things, hopefully opening that package as well. So do stay tuned for that. It'll probably be posted late UK time tomorrow or early Monday, whichever I get round to the quickest. So thank you for watching, and from me in Shropshire, goodbye.